Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Obviously, today's video is a blush collection and declutter video. I did a bit of a declutter a couple whiles ago and I don't love getting rid of things because I like to have things to compare new products to. I like having an array of higher end and drugstore, but I have a lot of blushes and I do think that there are probably a few that need to go bye-byes. I just don't reach for them like I used to or didn't reach for them much at all. So let's just, I don't know how long this video is going to be. Maybe you have a snack or a beverage, but I'm just gonna start and go in absolutely no particular order. The first thing that I'm choosing, I know is gonna be an easy one for me. It's the Peanuts and Wet n Wild, the Gift of Giving Face Quad. The blushes in this palette were okay. The highlighters were terrible. And if this isn't your first video here, you'll probably already know I don't love multiple products in one package. So like, I don't love the blush and highlight together. I don't know where to store it. I rarely choose a highlight and a blush from this. Like I just don't. I like to mix it up, I guess is a better way to say that. So I am going to declutter this one. I have a baby size Amazon box right here on my lap that we can put things in. So let's see. Next up, we have this e.l.f. powder blush palette. If you're looking for a drugstore blush palette, this is pretty darn good. I know there's a couple colorways of this, but the quality in this is very, very nice. So I'm definitely going to keep this one. Again, it's nice to have a drugstore reference in case someone is looking for it. Next, I have the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Blush Palette. This is very nice. This came in the mystery box that I got from Lunar Beauty earlier this year. And again, I really like this one. I'll definitely be hanging on to it. The quality is fantastic. I don't love big face palettes, but this is a pretty good one and I think worth having in my collection. Next up, oh my goodness, is the Danessa Myricks. This has a name, Dewy Cheek and Lip Palette. I would never, ever use this for my cheeks and my lips, but this is a fantastic cheek or blush palette. It's small, but it's got 4 different shades. You can mix and match. These are cream, but they never ever lift my base products, and I always use it on top of a set base. I have an oily skin type, mostly in my T-zone, so I powder heavily there, and then I just do like a light dusting on the rest of my face. And this is what I'm wearing today. It goes on beautifully. It doesn't cause me any problems. I like it a lot. That one is never going anywhere. Okay, another one we have is the Profusion Blush 3 palette. I've only reached for this a couple of times, but it is a very nice neutral face palette, like blush palette. Nothing too bright, far out and funky. So if I am looking for more of a subtle blush, this is an excellent choice. Obviously, not today's choice. I went for clown makeup today and I'm loving it, which is why I'm recording yet another video. This eye look was day 5 in the best of series. There's a playlist. Feel free to check it out if you want to. They're very, very short videos, like about 2 minutes each. So I will be hanging on to the Profusion blush palette. Next, I have the Hip Dot and Clueless blush palette. This is more of a face. It's got highlight and blush. I don't reach for this very often, but I think I have to hold on to it. Clueless is one of the best movies ever, 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 in my opinion. And I do have the eyeshadow palette as well, so I think I'm going to hang on to this one. I think it's going to survive this declutter. I don't know about the next one. We'll burn that bridge when we get there. Next up, we have the Natasha Denona Love Glow Cheek Palette. I actually started with this for my blush today. I went in with this cream shade. It's got this little door, which is handy for keeping the cream and the powder separate. I really do like this. I've obviously used it. It's pretty schmutzy. The blush doesn't give me enough. So when I do use this, I tend to use it with all of the shades in here as like my blush and highlight blush topper. So I am going to hang on to it. Yeah, I'm going to hang on to this one because I do really like using all of the bits in here together. It is very nice. Let's stick with the multiple, blushes in one. We have the Alamar Cosmetics Blush Trio. This is in medium tan. Again, I'm going to hang on to this. If you haven't tried Alamar Cosmetics, I definitely would recommend. These are fantastic. I really, really, really like these blushes. All three of them are super nice and work on my skin. Obviously, this one will work a bit better when I'm, more of a winter shade than summer, but it's so good. Next, we have the Benefit Cheek Leaders Mini Pink Squad. I used this a lot when I first got it. I really, really liked it. I don't reach for it much anymore. I did just use it the other day though. I think this is going to make the cut. I think I'm going to keep this one at least for one more declutter round because I did just reach for it and I do like it. It's more of a subtle blush, but I enjoy it. So I'm going to hang on to it. Okay, next up we have the One Size Cheek Clapper in Firestarter. These blush palettes and bronzers, I only have one blush, one bronzer, but they are so pigmented. I really wanted a red and orange blush, and so I got this one. I really, really like it. You do have to be a bit careful because, like I said, it is super pigmented, but the shades are so nice. So I'm definitely keeping this one. And then we have the Pat McGrath Labs in Bridgerton, a little trio. I think it's a trio. Yeah. So there's two blushes and a highlighter in here. I'm definitely keeping this. A, I love Bridgerton, and B, though the books are definitely better. These are very nice shades, and they're the only blushes I have from Pat McGrath. So I'll definitely be hanging on to these. Next up, from the OG House Labs when they were on Amazon, is a blush and highlighter duo. It's so pretty. It really is, but I don't reach for it. I don't enjoy the different things. I forgive Pat McGrath because, she's Pat McGrath and it's Bridgerton, and I'm allowed to break the rules. I made them. But I am going to declutter this one. I think the quality is absolutely fantastic, and this highlight is so pretty, but I just don't reach for it, and I think I can rehome these and they'll be happier living with someone else than with me. Next, we have a Natasha Denona Duo Glow. This is beautiful. I really, really like this so much. For me, this is what I think other people think of the Orgasm blush. So I will 100% be keeping this one. I think it's beautiful. I love, love, love it. But this one, this Mars Orgasm blush, I am resentful of this blush. It like doesn't show up on me. I don't know what everyone is on about with this. If you know, please enlighten me because I just don't get it. I do continue to hang on to it because it's one of those blushes like everyone knows, everybody has it, and it feels like I should hang on to it because what if I need it someday for a comparison, like with the Natasha Denona one? So it's staying, but not because I love it, but because I think it does serve a purpose in my collection. Next up, we're gonna do Odin's Eye. I have all 6 of the blushes that they released with the Soleil Tube collection. This is in the shade Orange Sunny. Very orange, kind of a yellowy orange, but so fun. So that one's not going anywhere. And then we have Peach Gleam. That's what that one looks like. This one definitely has a sheen, but it's so pretty. And then we have Sienna Luster. Again, beautiful. And this is very, very sheeny. Like this is like a blush topper, highlighter, blush draping kind of a thing, but it's so pretty. And the last orange one is Warm Sun. This one's similar-ish to Orange Sunny, but for a lighter skin tone. It's that same kind of yellowy orange shade. And again, I really, really like it. I don't reach for the orange blushes as often as I reach for like pinks and reds and whatever, but I still really like them and will keep them because they are very, very, very nice. Next up, we have Sunset Clouds. I didn't think this was gonna work for me. It looks so light and it looks pretty cool toned, but it's a very nice blush. Even in the summer when I'm very tan, this looks decent on me. So that was exciting. And the last one we have is, I believe, Rosette Love. It's very strange. I should have Googled it. And this is another sheeny pink blush. It's very like blush lighter, blush draping, toppery kind of a shade. But again, absolutely beautiful. So these will be staying with me. Next, I have 2 blushes from Wander Beauty. I have the shade Double Date, which is kind of like a peachy, pinky shade. When I first got this was the orangiest shade I had in my collection. This is a very nice cream blush. And I have the shade, no wait, hold on, that's not the shade. Okay. Just kidding. It's called Double Date because these are, again, lip and cheek, would never do it. And they're duos. So on the bottom, which I completely forgot, is like a balm, which you could put on your cheek. I would never, or on your lips. I'm not doing it. So this like orangey-ish shade is called Sweet Talker. I really like this blush. And this one is in the shade Rendezvous. Very, very nice blushes. I got one of these in a BoxyCharm and then went onto the interwebs to find if they had any more shades, and there were only these 2. So I have them both. I really like both of them and I'll be keeping them. In fact, I just used this one not that long ago, so definitely worth keeping. This one's a no-brainer. It's my Winky Lux cream blush in the shade Knickers. This is my go-to blush for any look that I do that I'm not sure what blush will go with it. This is perfect. It just looks great. It's in the shape of a rose. It's a little bit tricky to open. I've had this for quite a while. I use it all the time. The rose still keeps its shape. Mine has somehow been knocked loose, so it fell out the other day. And I just put it back in and it's great. This is a fantastic blush. If you were wanting one that's a little bit on the more expensive side, but will obviously last forever and look really cute on your vanity, I would recommend this. I would definitely like to grab a couple more shades of this. I think they are fantastic. All right, we're gonna finish up with cream blushes. So I have the Fenty Beauty cream blush in Summertime Wine. This is the mini size, and I believe it came with like a lip something or other. Again, I just reached for this one and it's beautiful. I love this blush and would be happy to get more of the Fenty cream blushes. in my collection. And then we have the, what is this? The Freck Cheek Slime. I don't reach for this very much, but I feel like when I do want something like this, this is going to be very, very handy. I've used it once and I liked it. I just haven't reached for it much, but it's staying because I haven't had it that long. I have this little blush. It's from Lila B. This is very, like, it's heavy. It feels kind of like a rock, and the cover just slides over. And again, orange blush. I don't know why I don't reach for this. I think maybe just because it's so tiny, I don't see it. I'm going to keep this out and see how I feel about it for reals, because that orange is very nice. Definitely a fun summertime shade, for sure. And this packaging is just absolutely adorable. So the Lila B, oh, and this is in the shade Be Darling. I should have mentioned that. I grabbed when I was on the hunt for orange blushes. The first orange one I got was the Wander Beauty one, which, you know, comparatively is not that orange. And I really, really, really wanted orange blushes, and they were really hard to find. But I did find this one. It's the Veroni Blusher. And there may be a shade name on here, but I can't read it. I ordered this off of Amazon. I haven't reached for it. Looks like nail polish. Since I got the Odin's Eye blushes. So I think I'm going to keep this one out along with the Lila B one and see if I get any use out of it. Or maybe again, it's a summertime blush. It's hard to know. So I'm going to keep these two on my desk and see if I can use them. Otherwise, they will have to go bye-byes. But for now, they're staying. Next up, we have 4 shades of the NYX Sweet Cheeks. When I first got these, I loved them. I didn't have many cream blushes in my collection. And again, this orange one is what got me. I don't reach for these very much. They are a bit more fussy to use than a lot of the other cream blushes that I have. So I'm gonna declutter 2 and keep 2. Probably definitely gonna keep the orange one. I'll keep Baby Doll. I don't have many blushes this shade, and certainly not any cream blushes. And I will declutter Coralicious and Showgirl. So I'll rehome these. And then I have this Undone Beauty Lip to Cheek palette. It's another cream blush. I don't reach for this. I'm gonna declutter it. I have this shade already in this collection, I think. Do I? Don't really. All right, JK, it's staying, at least for one more declutter, because it is slightly pinker than even the Wander Beauty. I don't know if you can tell. So yeah. Okay, these are gonna stay. Okay, I think all we have left is powder blushes. So I have the Ofra and Samantha March collab blush duo in the shades Chicklet. Very, very pretty, and not super similar to anything else I have, so that will stay. And we have this Milani blush in Luminoso. This kind of took over the YouTubes for a while, and it's a really pretty blush, so that's gonna stay as well. I have this MAC blush in the shade Melba, and I got this in an AIA beauty box. I think it was a MAC box. And I was like, okay, whatever. That's not that big a deal. And then when I put it on, I was like, oh, perhaps you aren't that big of a deal. It was very nice. It's the only MAC blush I have. And I'm keeping it because it does look very, very good on my skin. And then we have a glowish blush in the shade Caring Coral. This is in the midi I like mini size things. I'm never gonna go through a full size like blush, so I like the mini, and this is fantastic. Definitely staying. And I have this Melt, it's a highlighter, but I thought I could use it as like a blush topper. It's in the shade Phoenix. It's really pretty. I don't think I could pull it off with my skin as light as it is right now, but in the summer, I think it can work. So I'm gonna hang on to that. And then we have the House Labs 2D gel powder in All Over Rouge, maybe. Mike got me the whole set of this last year for Christmas. It's a beautiful blush. Anything in this kind of gelée formula from House Labs is very nice. I like it a lot. Next, I have this NARS blush in the shade Gaiety. I got this off of the BoxyCharm store. I thought this looked similar-ish to the Dior blush that went crazy. It looks super, super bright and blinding, but it's actually really nice on the skin. So, gonna hang on to this one. And I have this Hourglass blush in the shade Diffused Heat. I've had this for ages. This is a nice blush. It just goes on, no muss, no fuss, and looks pretty. So I'll hang on to this one. Then I have two Wanderlust blushes from Buxom, and this is in the shade Dolly. Kind of a cool toned mauve-y shade, really. And again, not like anything else in my collection, so I'll keep that one. And then I have Mykonos, which again, kind of went nuts on the YouTubes. Really, really pretty shade. These are a bit sheeny, so I like them, and I'm gonna hang on to both of them. All right, we're down to the last handful. So we have this Nabla blush in Adults Only. This is another fantastic blush. Looks super intimidating, but it goes on and blends so nice. I love these Nabla products so much. I grabbed two blushes from Mented. This is in the shade Pinky Promise. Again, another kind of sheeny pink blush. Really, really nice. And then I got the shade Peach for the Stars. And again, absolutely beautiful. A bit similar-ish to the Odin's Eye, but I think this one has just a little something else. So I'm gonna hang on to it. So you have this Maybelline Fit Me blush in the shade Rose. Super pretty, similar to others in my collection, but at a drugstore product. So I'm gonna hang on to this for comparisons. I do reach for it once in a while, and it is nice. Oh, I do have another cream blush. This is the Milani Cheek Kiss in Coral Crush. This is a fabulous blush. I remember really, really liking this one so much. I don't reach for it that often, but perhaps I will. I'm gonna hang on to this for now. It may not make another declutter, but again, we're talking drugstore and excellent quality. So I'm gonna hang on to that one for now. And I have this little e.l.f. blush. Is this similar to the Odin's Eye? Here's Odin's Eye, and there's the e.l.f. one. So the e.l.f. one's a little bit deeper. And I mean, the packaging on this is really cheap, but the blush itself is pretty darn good. And again, I'm very sure that was only a couple of dollars. So I'm pretty sure I picked it up for like best at the drugstore video I did. So we'll hang on to that one. And I have this blush from Believe Beauty in the shade Gallivant. I don't reach for this. I used it in the Dollar General makeup video I did. I think this is just too dark, a bit too pigmented for me to want to fuss with. So I'm gonna declutter this one. And I have two more. Both of these are Sephora brand. And this is in the shade Hey Jealousy. That's what it looks like. These come right out. So you could probably put this in a magnetic palette if you wanted to. This is very nice. I like this blush a lot. And the other one I have is in the shade Heated. This is again a bit sheeny. The other one is matte. Beautiful blushes, both of these. I like them so much. So let's get a final tally on how many I decluttered and how many I kept. Okay, so including the blush palettes, I'm keeping 46 blushes and getting rid of 5. So feel free to judge me. It's totally fine. I obviously love blush. Look at my cheekers. I'm a huge fan. So that's that. All of my blushes and a declutter. Albeit a small one, it's still a declutter. Let me know what you think of this video of blushes in general. What are some of your favorites? Did I have any of your favorites here today? Are there any you think that I should pick up that I don't already have? Let me know in the comment section. I really like chatting with you down there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Be good and remember to be kind to you.